Starting. We are live. How's it going? My name is Mike Piet, and I got Brian Fleming on the line. We do these calls weekly. We've been doing them for 4 years, and we barely missed one. Up until recently, we started publishing these on using Google, the live thing here that we can do. That way, you can get some insight into it too, because we just share what's working with our businesses, where we are, where we're going, for accountability, for just thinking it out, also for seeing if we have any constraints or different perspectives, way to get it better, speed it up, a new route, et cetera, whatever the form may take. So that way you can listen to this as well. And also that you do this in your life too, have someone where you can communicate with. And just, because in business, there's so much thought going on. There's so much thinking, does this work, or what to do? And you get caught up in so many different ways. So just having someone to clarify it is key. And also then looking at other people too. So you can look at us. There's no filter. We're not some big gurus. We're not some whatever you want to call us. We're just regular people, so to speak, working on our businesses. Brian's been working on his business for about 15 years?
Oh man, yeah, I got started way back in the 90s and just been at it ever since. And yeah, you'll have your ups and downs, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's always going to be ups and downs. So that is life. I've been at it for 7 years, but as soon as I learned about this stuff, I've been trying to crack the code, so to speak. So yeah, I run a digital marketing agency specializing in SEO right now. And I've been always stuck probably for the past 2 years from the $10,000 to $15,000 a month. But what I have accomplished, which I think is pretty sweet, is that I no longer really need in that business. So I have my wife, Sarah, who works at home as well. I work at home as well in our home office here. And basically I've built systems so the staff does it all. So I really don't have to manage it. She just asks me a few questions here and there, which is great. But then to scale that up, it's going to involve a lot more of me, because it's just more and more training. It's more and more chaos to manage. And then I would have to keep putting managers in place, and eventually I'd be out of it. But that seems pretty crazy and maybe not my strong point of managing that all. I like to kind of build something and then move on to the next thing and just build it like that. So that's why I'm working on an information product. I've always been an info junkie, so to speak, I guess, where I just love to consume info because I know the power of knowing things. Then you can, change your route, change your perspective, change your route, accelerate your actions, et cetera, kind of the stuff I was talking about earlier on. So yeah, merging right now into creating a product. I've built some products and books on systems, like how to systematize a business, since that's what I had to do in my SEO agency. And yeah, Brian runs a software company, PC Tattletale. So he's going to go over some keyword research today and some other things that he's dealing with in his business, because we all have problems. Everyone has problems. The most common problem most of us all have is usually dealing with leads and sales and stuff like that. Most likely, if you're interested in this channel, you're most likely interested in that, growing, getting more leads, getting more sales, getting more business, et cetera, profitably. And there is tons of ways. And the ways that Brian and I like, which seem to be a commonality, something that can be scaled and doesn't necessarily involve us. So yes, networking is great. But then you always have to kind of be networking, and you should always be networking in the side. I don't want to downplay that, but SEO, so ranking organically, even using paid ads in Google, also in YouTube organically, and also YouTube ads. And, I've done some also stuff with Facebook groups. I know Brian as well, but basically these days we're really sticking with YouTube and Google seem to be the main themes of our traffic sources.
Which is all Google, right, Mike?
Yeah, that's very true. It's all Google. You're right. Yep. And then, of course, yeah, you could have Facebook. We don't really use Facebook as much as everyone else, do we, Brian?
No, and in fact, I was into it for quite a while. And I wouldn't say Facebook's bad. As far as an ad play, they probably have the best ad platform out there, period. That's just my opinion. It does work. There's no doubt about it. But if you got a lower price product, it's hard to make paid ads work. We've talked about that a lot. It's really tough. And the prices of all these platforms is only going up because they've only got so much inventory, right?
True.
Yeah. But yeah, so PC Tattletale, the blog traffic, it was at 4,000, 4,500 for a while. And you guys can look back at older videos, like life was good. I wasn't complaining about anything, man. And then the web traffic went from like 700 a day and it went down to like 500 a day. And then I started panicking and bunking with the blog. But the traffic's now up to like 800 visitors a day, which is stellar. And the sales follow that. So it's all good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that part of the business is good. So now you say, well, okay, so your traffic's there. So now you start looking at risk, right? What can take this golden goose away from me, right? And my highest risk is simply accepting payment. Simply accepting payment has been a challenge for this product. So we've talked, you know, anybody getting in this kind of business would run over to Stripe and get an account. Well, what if they don't approve you? What do you do? Well, then you go find the next guy and they decline you and they decline you. And it's not like they tell you why they decline you. You just get declined. You say, I don't know, you just got declined. We can't tell you why. You just got declined, you know? So we've talked before, Mike, you're using PayPal. I always hypothetically say, if PayPal shut you down, then what? And you would be in my world now, right?
Right.
So I finally got a credit card processor to let me take credit cards at the most obscene terms you could imagine. Like nobody would sign these terms, but what are you going to do, you know? And I don't know, the business still works. It's Visa and MasterCard are my single biggest expense in the business right now, period. Like they're my biggest expense. And I'm starting to get chargebacks. And from talking to people in the industry, if your chargeback rate goes above 3% for a couple months, they'll just kick you off. They'll say you're done. You're too much of a risk to us. And then you get put on a blacklist and you will not be able to do credit card processing for 5 years. You're just blacklisted, your social security number, all of it. So that means you're starting another company, putting it in someone else's name. You're just in a bad spot to do business online. And maybe that's the best message I have today. So I've been in this world for a while. And what's been happening in my account is the chargeback rates started coming in, you know? And I noticed they were right at 3%. And then last month, all hell broke loose and I just got a flood of chargebacks. And I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm going to lose this account. I'm going to be blacklisted. I'm going to have this business that I literally can't accept payments for. Literally, no one will let me accept payments. Insane. And I just got to do damage control. So yeah. I found a service called No Fraud. And they get in front of your credit card processor. And they're like a pass-through. And they look for fraud and detect it and make you aware of it so you can refund it before these people do a chargeback, right? Mm-hmm. So it takes me forever to get this thing integrated. I finally get it integrated. Very first charge, very first sale that comes through Saturday morning gets flagged for review immediately. And I'm like, wow, really? Why would this get flagged for review? True story, Mike. I go into my account. I look. This thing is from the exact center of Africa. Like as center in Africa as you can get. And I zoom in and it's like there's a city in the center of Africa and it's in the middle of this city, you know? And it says it just looks suspicious, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, that's really suspicious. That's super suspicious, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what do I do about this? They're like, well, we'll try to reach out to them and tell you what to do. So a day later, I look. A bunch more charges go through, pass, fail, pass, fail. And like the fail ones, like they would try a credit card 3 or 4 times, the same person, and then it goes through. So they were like not putting in the right street address or something, right?
Makes sense.
So then this No Fraud sends me an email and says, hey, this charge looks fraudulent, refund it immediately, and blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. So I refund the charge. Not the blink of an eye later, this person emails me for tech support on the software.
Okay.
So they're a legitimate customer, and I just refunded their money because the system said they were fraud.
Wow.
Now I got to get them to rebuy the software and get through this fraud system, which is now declining their card and won't let them buy anything on the internet ever again.
Wow. Crazy.
And the rate on this thing is 75 cents a transaction, which is like no problem, right?
Right.
Until you get some guy that runs through 10 transactions that fail to get his one to go through. Now you got $8 tacked on. Just an extra fee. Another guy.
Are you going to keep on using it?
I don't see any other way at this point. It's too much risk if I lose this account.
Okay.
Like, period. You know?
Yep.
So that was like a big thing. And then I found out through this merchant processor, you can fight these chargebacks. Like you can dispute them, you know?
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna fight every one of these. And I go in there, and it turns out I could only fight 3 because you only got so much time, right?
Mm-hmm.
First one, Mike, I look up their zip code for their credit card, Texas.
Yep.
IP address, India. That's fraud, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, seems like it.
I got nothing on that one, right? That one's got to stand. I can't even fight that. I just let that one go.
Right.
Next one, lady complained that the software didn't work as advertised and demands her money back.
Okay.
Like I can do something with this.
Okay.
And I cited my refund policy and said she was supposed to contact us. She never did that. She never gave us a chance to fix it. You know, it's very clear when she purchased. Upload all that documentation. Next one, guy said he didn't make the purchase, you know?
Right.
I look on this one, and his zip code is in the same city as his IP address. This one's in Melbourne, Australia, is where this one came from.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. These places in the world I'm mentioning, like this shit's all over the world, right? Africa,
right.
Australia. That's just the cool thing of an internet business. So Australia, and this one, it had 2 Samsung phones and a home computer. So the wife put it on her phone, put it on his phone, put it on the computer. He sees a charge. He says something to her. What's she gonna say?
Right. I don't know what it is or something.
I don't know what it is. I fucking call him, man. Dispute that shit. I don't know what that PC tattletale. I wouldn't do anything like that. What is that? Right? So I wrote that case up, and it probably took me a half hour to do these chargebacks. But I thought it was worth it over this merchant account. And as a defensive measure, I went into ClickBank, and I rewired up ClickBank with all my new pricing. It all had instant approval, no hassle. And my question to you, Mike, all this credit card hassle, and it's more expensive than ClickBank by probably, say the credit card companies take $10 or $11, ClickBank takes $8. Would you just use ClickBank and say the hell with these guys? Or would you just leave it alone and just let it go at this point?
I mean, depends. Yeah, like you said, risk management, and then how much it does cost and how much time investment it would take to change. I mean, either way, as long as you're taking money, and I would have one of them as like a backup for sure. But I think you would just look at like the fine details, if it's worth it, you know, the juice worth the squeeze.
Do you think a payment page with ClickBank versus Visa would be a split test?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I would always thought like that way would lower conversions, you know, because
what would?
Like, is it like on a ClickBank page they would order on?
Yeah. So what they would do on the ClickBank one is they would just see a big buy with ClickBank, go to ClickBank's checkout page. Now I can customize those checkout pages.
Do you ever get traffic? I mean, get affiliates from ClickBank?
Surprisingly, I do, and I feel like if I ran my sales through ClickBank, it would catch like a draft of affiliate traffic.
Yeah, I was gonna say then it would like increase the stats on ClickBank, especially if you use like some sort of affiliate name or something, you know. Um,
I have a separate site just for ClickBank. It's PC Dash Tattletale, completely different look and feel. It's just
okay,
marketing kind of a different thing.
okay,
Um, but yeah, it's always an option, right?
right, yep,
Um, yeah, so maybe that is an advantage. It might be worth.
yeah. It sounds like a
So I guess with the credit card, then I just pay their monthly fee, do the minimum, and just don't run any volume through them at all. Period.
right,
When you say why you guys are too fucking expensive, that's why you're
right.
just too expensive.
Plus, you can possibly get more sales from using ClickBank from affiliates. That's a bonus, you know.
So well, it would be fair to say that if you're going to run the ClickBank volume through ClickBank and it draws affiliates, that counts as using them, right? That's part of it. It's just how much you make through that channel.
Right, right. I think so. Yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna do that. I got nothing to lose with that, right?
Yeah. Seems like a lot of people are looking for affiliates to sell these days, to sell things. So, yeah, I'm sure you could get some affiliates from that.
Yeah, interesting. And then set it up a little better. It
Yeah.
would make things quite a bit more simpler because then I don't have to worry about PayPal either. I could just run it all through ClickBank.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Worth
Would
it.
you just do like a A/B test on that, you think? Just that's all you can really do, right?
You mean A/B like at the same time, or would you like look at just like the data how it was before and then afterwards? Would you
That would
want
be one way is like leave one on for 3 or 4 days and then leave the other one on for 3 or 4 days. Another way would be to put it on Google Analytics split test and do just straight up and then measure the conversion rate.
that'd be smart. I mean, that'd be your smartest way.
That would measure the throughput through it. Then you'd have to figure out whichever one made it tells you the number of conversions, right?
As long as you can some way know the clicks, yeah, and then how many sales you made, you know, the clicks or views, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would set that
I
up.
don't think I have anything to lose on that, honestly.
No, I mean, even if your conversions are a little bit lower, but then if you get some affiliates, that can be a game changer, you know?
Right, right. We all know about that. A couple good affiliates, right?
Right. Yep. How much do you pay
What's that?
commission percent? Like
Well,
50?
that's the thing. I got it set at 50%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Trust me, my Amazon bill's getting expensive. I definitely got expenses, you know?
Right.
So I think it's a fair commission rate, but so this person comes through and I'm not using ClickBank's automatic renewal because they don't like to work annually. They just won't do it.
Okay.
But my billing system, remember we talked through that in May, and I think we got that on YouTube, right?
I think so.
Yeah, where it emails people 30 days out. Like that worked really well, Mike. That worked really well. People come through all the time and upgrade and renew. It's probably
That's
an
awesome.
extra 50% revenue. So if I make $100, I make another 150 from rebills and upgrades. You
Just by
know,
telling them beforehand and more emails like that,
that
right?
that it's expiring when they log in to use it. It's just a window that says your license is gonna expire and you're gonna lose all your data. And yeah, they pay. They definitely pay.
It's awesome.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that test. I think I got nothing to lose, and then maybe I'll start that up this week and we could talk about it next week. We'll look at the results and make a decision. Yeah. That's always fun. We've done some split test on these and it wasn't very eventful. Doing them at the sign up page.
Right. Yeah, it's good to know.
That's really been all the exciting stuff with PC Tattletale. So how's the book writing coming?
That's a good insight, good action, and I like it. So the book, it's coming. Let's see. So you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
So I got the book written.
Nice. I like it.
All of it's done. Yeah, it turned out to be 435 pages.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's a huge ass book.
Is that Word you're using?
This is Word. This is Microsoft Word. Yep. So 104,000 words.
So why did you pick Word? Because it could handle that much pages?
Yeah, Google, slowed down too much. Yep.
That is a huge insight. When did Google start slowing down? I think this is a huge insight if you're going to write a big book.
Yeah, I would say maybe around the 150 page mark. And then it became way too, not usable.
I could see them looking at data and saying, 99.9% of the people will never write more than 100 pages in one document.
Yeah.
Let's not even worry about it.
Yeah. But then, so then you upload it. Well, this is actually a different size. This won't look good.
What's CreateSpace?
CreateSpace is where I upload it to. So that's the print on demand by Amazon. That's where like you would upload the book. That's where I'm uploading to it. So I save it as a PDF. Then when people order on here, it's actually going to order from Amazon and then print on demand to it.
Could you just upload it and send it to yourself, like through this?
Yeah, you could. Yep, print it off on yourself. Yep.
Man, I might do that with my Twitter book.
Yeah. Yep. And then so then on the second page, so right now, so the shipping's just the $7.95, and the book is free. So it costs like $10.60 total. So I'm going to lose a little bit on the book, but that's okay. So then the audio version is $11.95. Again, you said that probably would be a huge value add. I took 2.5 weeks. I talked this all out on audio, and now I'm in the process of editing it right now.
The audio?
Yeah, about 10 to 12 hours a day, and saying it all out loud. I lost my voice like 3 different times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, that is a huge value add, because who wants to read all this and like know the context of how it all like connects?
Oh, Mike, I told you, yeah. The book's like, and I know it sounds crazy. Like the book, I just want to like set on my table to make me look smart to people.
Right.
Because it's big and it says YouTube, and I must know a lot if it's like sitting there like that. You might want to have YouTube on the binder of the damn thing if you can, because it's gonna be thick.
True. True. Yep.
Like if I got a book about something about the YouTube playbook like that, I would put that on my desk at my day job.
Yeah.
And I might skim through it and like pick at it. But yeah,
right.
The audio is what that's the thing that I'll listen to on the commute, or probably when I'm driving around or even exercising, I'll just listen to that. It's more passive.
So the total, that's only $19.90. And then you can also, I'm going to make this after I finish the audio. Then I'm going to put like visuals and put into slides and stuff, a video program. So that's $47. So the total here on your first transaction could be $66.90, depending like what format you want to take in the info. And so one person bought before I even started promoting. I'm not really sure. I think it was like through Vince, through the MasterMind. I was talking about it. But he bought like all 3 of these things. So it was just kind of cool to see like, okay, that is how like a free shipping can work, like always have these add-ons to get your, average car value up. Cause like you're saying, we do have expenses. It all is expensive. So you definitely have to make it profitable, So.
Yeah. And to me, like, honestly, for all 3 of these, like $66, almost
Yeah.
seems too cheap and definitely impulsive.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's really good to start with. That's really good and I think you could split test pricing, you know, just split test the shit out of pricing. You might find you can get a lot more than that.
Yeah. Grant Cardone charges like $30 or $40 for his audiobook. I was like, well, it seems like a lot, but
I don't think so because it's the, you know, it's the value of the knowledge.
true. True. And then, yeah, so then I have this page, you know, that gives all the examples. This is the sales page. This is like a book itself, but I figure if you're going to be buying a book, you're probably a person who wants like info, you know? So yeah, how I used it to grow my business, and then, you know, the story of my different businesses, and like learning different lessons, like through Vince's ads, like without captions, 1.2% clicked link in the ad, with captions, 1.8% clicked in the ad. Also that special ending, because giving people time to click, increased it from 1.8 to 3.4. So all that stuff, yeah, is in the book. But then, yeah, I sprinkled some throughout here as well, and just gave the story. And then, yeah, talk about like the 5 sections of the book, like what's in it, kind of like the typical just bullets, you know. And then, dude, this is crazy. Like these are like some of the programs that I've gotten throughout the years of all this different stuff, like trying to figure out how to make all this stuff work. So that's pretty good. This is a funny picture. Oh, it doesn't go big with the book, but yeah, but then a picture delivered right to your front door. Comparing, contrast, comparing it to a piece of pizza or a whole pizza, you know?
Yeah.
Book. It's my legacy, freedom, who this is for, handle objections, even if you suck in front of a camera, even if you have little money to spend, even if you need your ads to make money quickly. And even if you tried and failed in the past, like me, many, many times, even if you hate reading, no excuses. Just imagine it. The best time to start is now. To wrap this up, and that's my sales page at a glance. So yeah, if someone wants all the info, but all the info is like up top, but then yeah, and the video too.
Yeah, we've gone through it. We've gone through it all in other
videos. Check out a different video too if you want more details on that sales page. It was like behind the scenes of something. But yeah, it's on this channel. And then, yeah, other than that, just, yeah, went to a client today doing SEO and pay-per-click for them. And then, yeah, Sarah's mainly running the search engine optimization company. And
so,
yeah,
so let me ask you this, Mike, and I think I know where you're going with this. Services businesses, they're quick to get going. But
yeah, we have a video on this topic too.
Yeah, you immediately run into the headaches, which you had to build systems around, right?
Correct. And even if you build systems, it will make it less chaotic, but in nature, it is chaotic because you're doing everything for, and you think about your own business, think about growing like 10 other businesses at the same time, you know?
Yeah, exact. I felt that with, I had just 2 or 3 clients at one point, and it was just too much mental energy. You're thinking about their businesses more than your own, right?
True. And I think some people can do it, maybe, like, you know, they're just more, they like that type of thing. But I mean, yeah, like pros and cons, like it's such good because yeah, you get that instant client. Like who else is going to pay you $1,000 a month, like consistently, you know, for a product? Probably not too many people, unless like you have a crazy good product.
That's a really good insight that I think there's a few SaaS business ones, you know, that can, I don't know if they get 1,000 a month, but they can get in the hundreds. And I think like, yeah, info products, they're just a different animal. But people have done well at it, you know?
Yeah. And I think from one perspective, yeah, either like you would double down and go all in one, or you can like keep building upon others. Like I can see myself having a software. I saw how like I built this off of because I used it for my service business. And then I could see like doing this more as a service. So it's like a lot of these can be used kind of synergistically, building off of, or you can just double down and do one, you know?
Yeah. I see, like, so the SEO stuff's in a good spot, right? The client business. And now you're wanting to pivot and do a products, because the products you get more leverage, right?
True.
Like you definitely get more leverage with that.
True. I mean, it's just inherent with the client SEO business. Every time you work your ass off to get a sale, you literally earn more work versus this. I'm not going to have to do more work. So it's like, it's just built in that challenge, which is tough.
And I would say that what you're doing is better than software in that, you know, no one's gonna call you up and say, hey, my ebook or my book you mailed me, I don't know how to use it. The pages don't turn good. You're not going to get any of that, right? You get that with software all the time. It just comes with it. And so the more software you sell, the more support you get, right?
Yeah.
With info products, you don't get that at all.
True.
Yeah, I think they're slightly different animals, but their weakness is they're hard to get going. You're going to do it with ads, and that'll solve that problem. But you're always having to feed the monster, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to do it with ads and organic. And I'm going to use both. So they use like synergistic.
Now you probably already thought of this, but as you were going through that, I was thinking, boy, if you did a Facebook ad companion product, if you made like 2 products,
true,
and you could sell the other one as bonuses, like people are going to need both, and you can tap both audiences. So that might be a takeaway. I'd definitely make the Facebook one smaller.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this one I had to explain like why someone buys in this one and how to make a video.
Yeah,
like content creation can be a little bit, yeah.
You could probably break the chapters out into almost separate courses, I'd imagine. At the length of it, you really could.
Yeah.
Then there's always room to go there.
Onto your Facebook idea too. Like, yeah, I think that's where like I want to take the brand long term, like 10, 20, 30 years, at least 10 years is like have like a product for each stuff, because I don't think I mentioned it too, but another benefit of info products is like you use them yourself, you know, like I'm my biggest fan. I'm my biggest customer in a way, you know, like I'm using this. So I want to do one like on productivity because I want to be more productive. And then, of course, I did this on ads. And I probably want to do one on organic YouTube, too, because I want to do better at that as well, you know?
Right. And it forces you to research it. And really, yeah, it's interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I almost think everyone should always be at least thinking like they will have a book or something, because then you kind of like think at a higher level, like I actually need to know it to teach it and document some like key stuff, too, you know?
Yeah. So how long's the audiobook at this point?
The thing is, they're all in separate tracks when editing. So I have no idea. My longest one is 30 minutes. Some of them are just like 4 minutes, but there's 280 tracks. So
and this Audacity free software can just stitch these together and boom.
Yeah, it's 37 gigs right now. Yeah, it's huge, dude. This computer.
Better hope that car drive doesn't go down, dude. I'd back that up.
I got a backup. Yep. So yeah, but also another
point. It backed up in the cloud or backed up in your house?
The majority is on like a hard disk, like external.
I would do damage control yourself and get that.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers, and before it like crashes.
I paid for the extra Google Drive storage. What is it?
Oh, I do have extra now. I
would just put it up to Google Drive, dude. You would imagine if that drive, you just start that thing in the morning and it just doesn't start.
That's true.
My brother's son just lost a hard drive on a high-end gaming machine, high-end gaming laptop, 2 years old. This shit can go, man.
Oh, one more thing too on kind of the pivot. Also, there's always like these 3 different dynamics, like your audience, like who you're targeting, and then like your ad, your content, and then like your offer and like conversions and stuff like that. But one of the things is with YouTube, I realized was it was a lot more people that are do-it-themselfers. So when I was advertising for We Do It All For You, SEO advertising, it may have not been a perfect match on YouTube platform. It still had success, but the videos were limited. It was only worked on certain videos. If I went like to like just some like Facebook ads and like other stuff, there was more people like trying to learn Facebook ads themselves. But if it was like more general, like how to grow your business, then I could get better leads off there versus like Instagram marketing. It would be like people that wanted to learn, like kind of like do it themselves. So I think that's just a hypothesis. Again, there's always a lot of unknowns, so to speak. that, then this will work better on that source. So that's why I basically created it for the audience, because that's one element you can never change, the audience that you have, you know? And then yes, people typing in SEO company on google.com are really good. But as we talked about, the cost per click is like $20. So it's like, it's really hard to make that work. So that's kind of my hypothesis. Another piece is like the audience I saw was something different than what I originally had. So that's why I had to create a new offer, even though that is the hardest part to critique or kind of change in your whole like business. But sometimes I think the offer does have to be changed, tailored to your audience, what they want. Would you agree?
I've heard a lot of talk in the SaaS community that in addition to who you're going to service, how are you going to reach them? And I think that's what you're getting at. And if I had to start over, that would be one of the questions is, how are you going to reach these people? You have to be able to articulate that, you know, like you have to have a plan for that. True. And if you're going to start a $60 or $90 one-time WordPress plugin, how are you going to get in front of those people?
Right. Right.
Is it the WordPress directory? Okay, fine. Like that's it. Like, but you got to have that, right? I think what you're saying is you see the distribution here through YouTube is much easier than through the clients, because the videos you're able to target, that's what they're looking for.
Right.
That led you down this path. That's a very strong insight. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's spot on. That's spot on, because that's where the distribution is. The other one, the distribution you just said, is $20 a click.
Yep. So
every your client, you're just going to be working to give the money back to Google.
Exactly.
Get them results in Google. It's like you might as well just work for Google.
Right. Seriously. So yeah. And then so all of that, getting all those pieces right, then layered in with like, you know, your basic or fundamental skills of persistence, you know, emotional intelligence, which is flexibility, also time management, focus, like huge focus. So there's so much like distraction, especially with social media age. You know, I really like this TED talk called Deep Work. And it's about a guy who like went off social media and he's like, I'm still alive. I still do business. And like, this is a key critical skill, being able to focus on like really hard challenges that require like deep work or deep focus in the new like economy, that like, that's going to like be more and more of a value asset, because the newest generation or all of us like just don't have that attention to go like deep into something. So that's like a key critical skill, is like deep work and deep focus, you know, like these things.
True.
And yeah, I mean, that's, and when you get into it, like you can call it like flow state too. Like that's really good shit too. Is like when you can get deep in your work, be super productive, and it's like enjoyable. So definitely finding something where you can do that is key. Then like those other skills, because like persistence, like, you may not have a credit card problem like I don't at the time, but I have this other problem, and then this, and then you have something else. Like you're going to have something. I mean, that's life, you know? So yeah. And a good thing that Grant Cardone said that I really liked was a good insight that I got, was that other people have the same problems or other problems too. So that's kind of where I got the kind of the realization from, to speak to it more specifically. But like, you think like, because sometimes I see like, I mean, when you're building a product, it's super weird, because like all this marketing is going on. You're like, I want to be marketing, you know, I want to be like, you know, doing more SEO, YouTube videos, Facebook ads. We got to finish your product. And then when you're marketing, you're seeing all these people do all these other things. But really you got to look at, are you doing those things? Like how many YouTube videos you're making a day, how many like blog posts you're optimizing, how many calls are you making, or whatever, you know, really like going deep and doing like consistently whatever you have to do. So yeah, consistency is another key skill as well, adding those in. And that's my little rant on success skills or something.
Let me ask you something. Do you find it hard to switch from creative mode, making the audiobook, writing the book, to a marketing task? Is that a hard switch or an easy switch?
Easy switch, because in my mind, I lump them as content. They're really not that much different between like creating content product. But what's really hard is, unfortunately, like a client switch. Like I work on someone else's business. Like, okay, now I'm targeting physical therapists. I can do it, but it's it's harder to go deeper. I would say, like, Sarah always like brings me in a few times and like, hey, what's this question? And then like I answer, and that's pretty easy. Like that's really simple. But like if I have to go like figure out their analytics, it can be maybe a little bit harder in most times. It sounds easy now. Like, why would that be hard? But like when you're in something, you know, it can.
I agree. I agree 100%. You can't just, it takes time to get in the flow state. It's totally it, right?
Yeah.
You got to get in the flow of it. And I heard it's like 20 minutes. That sounds about right.
Yeah. And then another key thing that I like too, what I've noticed, because I mean, yeah, I did client work for so many years. And now that like I've kind of not have to do it as much, I can see this distinction. But like also like with the to-dos, because it's like, okay, like platinum skincare, I have to do this, this, this. Client number 2, I have to do this, this, this. Client number 3, this, this. And then my own stuff, I want to do this, this, this. So I felt that was very hard when I was like, not only is it these separate things, but it's like you kind of know in your head you have to do all these separate things. And somehow doing this, I can maybe do it better because like I'm not even thinking about my upsells now. Like I'm totally in like the product. And then within the product, I'm totally in the audio, like editing. So I think we're like, yeah, so I guess like it's not as much switching or different. It's really, yeah, I guess not as much switching. You're doing more of the same stuff, I guess, which I guess is like, I think like Edwards Deming, like a productivity guy or a business guy said, like in a factory, if they're making like watches, one person should just be like putting a strap on and just doing that all the time. One person should be like putting the face on instead of like all of them making watches. It's more productive to like have each person on segment. So maybe that's kind of the insight where I'm going with that too. Like more of doing one thing, you know, you can just crank that out so much, you know?
Yeah. You just get better at it. Right.
Yeah.
True. I guess.
And then a good question Sarah asked me the other day was like, if you could be doing anything, if like you had all the money in the world, you know, you could just choose anything, what would you choose to be doing? And I said, whatever, like I would need to be doing next is like my answer. Like, so I guess I kind of alluded to in the beginning, like I like to do one thing and move on to the next. So right now, like all I want to do is like audio. And then once I get into like full marketing mode, it's like all I want to be is like a marketer. And then once I get into this, like into my health, like I want to be a health expert, you know? So I guess I want to like be all in to whatever I'm doing. Kind of thought that was an interesting question. What would you say if like you could do work on any part, anything, like what would you choose? Would be the same type of answer, like whatever you need to, or to be something specific, like working on software or?
I don't think things would be all that much different, honestly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, I mean, a few things might be different, but I think I'm pretty close.
That's, I think,
but what is interesting is when you get to that point is it can get a little boring too.
Mm-hmm.
You get like an uneasiness. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's another piece of the client business. I'm like, I master this SEO and like doing it for clients. Like I want to move on to the next thing. It kind of became like boring in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I would think like it would be frustrating that like, I don't know. The hardest thing that it would be to just like keep bringing clients in and then growing a team. And it just gets like more chaos. Every time you bring a client in, it's like taking on another full-time job.
Yeah, it is.
Where you would just dread it after a while.
Yeah. And it's good until like you want to do other projects and want more flexibility with your time, you know?
Right. And then, I wouldn't feel like I could take a vacation, you know?
Right.
If I had staff like you do, of course, I probably would, but I don't think I would have set it up that way. I think I'd try to do too much on my own and just burn myself out. Did you have something you wanted to show?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a good graph, but there's a guy who wrote the book Flow State, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, or if I don't know how to say his last name, but he has a really sweet graph. Not sure if this is it. Well, this one sucks. But like basically, your task difficulty, it can't be, if it's too easy, then it's not engaging. But if it's too hard, then it's too hard. You don't want to get engaged either. And then same thing with like
sweet, man.
Same thing with like skills. If you have too little skills for it, it's too hard. You can't get in the flow state. But if it's too high, like you don't have the skills, then you can't get into it. So you always need like, yeah, because like this can lead to anxiety, frustration, fear of failure. And then, but the other opposite side can lead to like boredom, routine, loss of interest.
Yeah. Wow. That is so true. That's so true.
So I really like that. Yeah. Cause like, dude, the hardest task for me is probably like copying and pasting like data like all over, you know? And it's like, how is that the hardest thing? It's like not high skill, you know, or not high task difficulty, so to speak.
It's because it's not challenging, right? It's just like monotonous.
Right.
Boring.
Right. And then, yeah, on the other side. So Sarah, you want to come into the shot?
No, I'll just talk from here. But that's my struggle right now is I'm bored with SEO.
Yep.
Client stuff. It's all the same.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Yep.
So now she wants to do a drop shipping product.
I think that's good.
Yep. So yeah, you got to be moving on. I think if you can somehow
just know when you're moving on to these other projects that gap, right? That you're in right now where it's not making any money, but you got to put the time in.
True. That gap's interesting.
The drop shipping business, you may have to put money into it. It's not making any money yet, and it's time commitment. That gap in income, that money has to come from somewhere.
True. There's definitely a mindset you got to be in where you have to risk it.
You can't let the SEO client work go when you transition into these other businesses. Ultimately, I think,
and our clients are getting results too, so it's like great as well.
I think I want to do a product too because I see that one client they made like 81,000 last month. From
oh my god! Every month it just keeps getting bigger for those guys.
They did like double the orders. Their traffic went from 39,000 a month to like 78 or something.
They're picking up holiday season too.
True. Plus with the legalization.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right.
But literally, they made 7,000 an entire year.
They'll do $1 million next year. They'll do $1 million.
Yeah, maybe, but 80,000. They're up to 80,000 last 30 days.
Yep. So their total for the year is over like 250, I think.
So we always talk about pros and cons of different businesses, but I love the approach too of like synergy because Sarah sees this and then it was like inspires off that, but she would have never seen that literally like hardcore proven success. She would just see it from someone else in some video, which wouldn't be necessarily maybe good, but not still as good. But
no, you fucking saw it, man.
Yeah.
He like checks her phone. And she's like, okay, they made $2,000 already today, and it's like, you know, in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's not even my product, but it's cool to see. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's really nice to work with.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about upselling them on SEO too.
We've already upsold them once. Yeah,
you might as well because when they're in that situation, what they want to do. Hey, I guarantee you, no, they want to protect what they have. They don't want to lose the good result. So they're happy to reinvest into the golden goose, you know. I totally get that.
That's what I told Mike too. I'm like, we own all those PBNs that got them to where they are, which is cool just to know that we have the capability to do that, you know?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Sarah wants to do the same strategy. Yep. So she wants to do moon lamps.
Yeah, well, I saw on like I researched, and they're pretty cheap to buy from China, and then you can sell them.
One, can you?
Yeah, you can sell them for what, like $40.
But now Trump is maybe making the charges too high or something, so maybe drop shipping may be too expensive. But
wow,
well, Sarah built a whole website, so
like I look for SEO reasons. It's not hard to rank, and this one lady's that's like #1. She sells them for like $48. It's the exact same lamp. I got a sample.
How many people search this a month?
33,000.
Shut the fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I can buy it. I mean, I can buy it for like it's going to be like $8 a piece. Then to ship it out to the customer,
go get the small one too.
It'll be like $12, and then you can sell them for like $40.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, I've never heard of these things.
No, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and it like supposedly it's supposed to like calm you because like the moon is calming.
It was on like a blog site.
This is like for night. This is for like light.
That's where I got the idea.
This is like a mini one.
There's different sizes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
we got one site said we had to buy 1,000 of these, and we're like, we're gonna have 1,000 moonlights.
No, but they said
hold on, man. Let me tell you something. Okay. I am considering buying one of those, and here's why.
Okay.
Because Christmas is coming up.
True.
I'm telling you, every day you wait and don't launch a site.
Mike, we got to get it up.
Okay, yep.
But hey, you have to be able to deliver those products by Christmas.
I got this in like 4 days. I'll be able to.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have to get it ranked.
Either way, she's going to learn.
Get it ranked. That's the thing, right?
No, I'd run Facebook ads to it.
You saw something like that, didn't you? Instagram.
Yeah,
ad.
Instagram can hear you. Every time I say something, I see an ad for it. I was talking with Mike.
Run Instagram and Facebook ads for that.
They're connecting.
Throw a few $100 at it.
Yeah.
True.
Once Facebook finds a few sales for you, it'll seek those people out like dogs. You want to watch a good program, into YouTube after you watch this video, type in PBS Facebook. They did a phenomenal show on the amount of information Facebook has on people, and it is staggering. Absolutely staggering.
It's true.
Sweet. Yeah.
They marry your data with what you bought at Costco.
Wow.
They buy your cell phone records to know everywhere you went and when.
Seriously, I've been able to tell.
Yeah.
They can hear you.
They really push the limit on targeting, you know. So the timing is critical on it. The timing is very critical with Christmas coming up.
True.
I'm also thinking of a legalization, you know, with legalization.
I think that's good too. That's good too. There's a timing issue there, right?
I don't think we have enough insight to the industry. I think people that are going to dominate are the people who already have tobacco stores, pipe shops, who already have been selling medical marijuana. I think they have a big, huge advantage to like someone like us. We'd be brand new to the market.
SEO.
We have no.
We have SEO.
I disagree, Mike. I think the marijuana market will make a lot of people a lot of money.
By the way, everyone listening, we live in Michigan, and just 2 days ago, it got voted legal. 56% of people voted yes. We're the 10th state to get it legalized, and we're the first in the Midwest.
So there is an opportunity, right? Everyone from Chicago is going to come here, right? There's probably like a 5-year window, maybe a 10-year window before the big players move in, but you have time. There's definitely an opportunity in it for sure. And it's observant of you, because I was just thinking today that a lot of people are thinking about it, but a lot of people aren't going to do anything about it. But it is definitely an opportunity, and the timing's right. And I think the timing on those moon lamps is like right fucking now, like right now, right up until you can do Christmas delivery is your window. And then after that, it's gone. It's gone for a while. It'll slow way down.
Yeah.
But you got a gold rush right now. I would jump on it. If your keyword research, here's another thing. If your keyword research tells you people are looking for that, you can be damn sure those same people are on Facebook. You could just reach them faster, in my opinion. And it's just the simplest ad. It's just a moon lamp and
another sweet idea too would be to buy some Google Ads traffic, people searching for that, and then have your Facebook pixel on that website.
Oh, totally. And then just do a lookalike and turn them loose. Turn them loose on it. Yeah. They'll find them. They'll find them.
Yeah. And the big thing with keyword research too is looking at the competition. Like, it's not a competitive thing to rank for. It wouldn't take much at all. So, I mean, good keywords, lots of volume, no competition.
So what do you use to rate competition?
Majestic. To look at we Google the keyword in incognito, then look up the first site in Majestic, see how many backlinks.
Okay.
Yep.
You look at the second and third one too?
Yeah, I look at a couple. That's what we did for the client that's doing really well. I mean, we started doing that like probably before that too. But yeah, it really helps to know, because if it's like huge, I mean, if it's too hard, it's going to take too long.
We were just talking about that, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our last call, or at least 2 calls ago, we did a deep dive into keyword research and competitiveness. Always the 3 things for keywords is search volume. You want enough people looking for it. Then also converting, not like an info keyword, more of it's going to turn into sales somehow. And then 3, competitive. It's like, has more, the more search volume in most cases does mean.
Did you do your keyword research, Brian? I heard you guys saying something about keywords.
Yeah. Do you have keywords? Are you going to go over that in this call, or?
Yeah, I thought we would, but this call's getting late. Let's save it to next week. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Okay. Next week.
I'll have it a little more cleaned up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll go over to keyword research.
Good.
I looked at those 3 things. I'll tell you the tool I used, and then we can decide if I can cut the subscription on that tool, or if I need to go back and do some more work.
Okay, sounds good. There was one other thing you were going to do too. Oh, you're going to switch to ClickBank, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have that for next week. I'm going to start a split test between the credit card processing and just ClickBank. I'm going to look at conversions and look at gross sales dollars. Gross sales dollars.
Sounds good. We'll have our audio edited, a moon lamp site up.
Yeah, Mike's got to help me.
Yes. And then also we're going to be starting the video portion of the course as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Video to video.
All right.
Transition.
Cool. That sounds really good. I want to
everyone else out there. Yes, and comment what you're going to be doing, what you're up to, and what your accountability is, or at least if you don't have to comment it, at least know yourself. But I do like to do these for some public accountability as well, so you might as well comment as well. And then yeah, check back. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of this call. Anything else, as always, let us know. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers. Peace.